How did you find your first WBFF Pro Show experience?
Beyond amazing, guys. I have finally found the federation for me. I loved everything about it, the glitz and the glam. It is totally me, and obviously placing first in my first Pro Bikini Diva show was just mind-blowing, amazing, loved it.
How did you find your prep and all your diet and training leading into the show?
So you guys followed me in my prep all the way up to the stage. It was definitely my best prep yet. So all up, I prepped for 9 weeks. We had a few setbacks kind of throughout that time and before that time. So for me to get to where I wanted to in 9 weeks was amazing. I envisioned how I wanted to look the whole way through my journey, and with, you know, Jake being my coach, we absolutely nailed it. I'm so happy with how I looked. It was the best I've ever felt throughout a prep. I probably had 2 weeks there where I really had to push really hard. And I mean, not to say that the other 7 weeks I wasn't. I was definitely envisioning every day how I wanted to look and how I wanted to feel and everything that came with my prep. But yeah, we nailed it, and I am so happy with the result.
What are you working towards now?
So what we're working towards now, August next year is a WBFF World, so I'll be stepping on stage as a Pro Bikini Diva athlete. And I know this year they had about 65, 75 pros in that one category, so I have a lot of hard work cut out for me, but I'm excited for the challenge. Let's do it.
Okay, Dan, how did you find your WBFF Pro Show experience, this being your second WBFF Pro Show?
I really enjoyed this show. I think it was my favourite show to date, particularly going over with the team from New Zealand, our little family over there, so it made the experience so much more enjoyable. But the show itself was massive with over 300 competitors, so big ups to Ari and Pauline for putting on such a good show. It really was top notch, and to have that many athletes compete and to put it all together and for it to run effortlessly was really impressive.
How did you feel your diet and training was leading into the prep?
This prep leading in, I came back and worked with Jake. I've worked with Jake in the past when we used to compete, and we generally would come in top condition and win shows. So Jake and I teamed up again this time around, and my prep was honestly probably the easiest prep I've done. Compared to doing the LA show, I was on about 30% more calories. I was on half as much cardio, so it really made it a lot easier, less stress. I came in better condition, coming fuller. So all round, it was, I couldn't ask for any more really. Jake just made it so much easier, and he knows my body so well that we could just work together, pinpoint things each day, and especially having Jake there during peak week, we could weigh my body each morning, see how the carbs are going in during carb loading. So, you know, we had a pretty big advantage there having Jake there, and definitely wouldn't have been able to outperform that LA performance without Jake's help.
Lastly, what are your future plans?
So for nothing more for 2018, but we'll be building up to the WBFF Worlds next year. So that's about 8 or 9 months away. So at the moment, we're still reverse sliding out of the Pro-Am, looking to put on, increase a little bit more lean mass, build up some weaker areas, and leading to the next show, come in even more conditioned, which I think we can push it a bit harder. So I'll be working alongside Jake again for the Worlds, which we're all really excited about because there'll be a team of us going over again, and it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. How did you find your first WBFF show?
I loved it. So I've definitely found where I want to remain competing for the remainder of my competition days, and that's a lot coming from me because, you know, I've done other federations and I've competed at the top of pro circuits, and this is just more than a competition. It is a family. There's a lot more to it. I definitely love the whole experience, and I'll be continuing to keep doing more of them.
How did you find your prep leading into the Pro-Am?
It's been awesome. So I've been back training with Dan for a year now. We used to train together probably 18 months or 2 years prior to that, so it's been good linking back up with the training partner that, you know, competing on the same level at the same shows. It definitely motivates you to continue to be your best food-wise. I've got my celiac disease under control, and I've had no flare-ups throughout the prep, so I managed to bring, you know, my best size and conditioning and felt the best I could. So really happy with how everything came together. I feel like it's taken me a couple of years to get my celiac under control to the point where the fatigue doesn't affect me, and yeah, I've enjoyed the process of mastering that and getting on stage again.
What is your plans for 2019 and upcoming shows?
As with Jess and Dan, I'm going to be bringing my best package to the Worlds, so we'll be aiming for that. We've got, I think it's around 10 months now, so just building a little bit more size, aim to bring the same conditioning. One of my flaws for the pro show just gone was my posing, so that's high on my priority list to master and bring to the stage a package that just isn't body but presentation as well. With the WBFF, it is 40% presentation, which is your posing and stage presence. So I really want to master the flow of the routine and hitting poses that are more like a transitioning flow than just a pose. So yeah, that's basically what's on the cards for me.
So how did you prep 2 champions while prepping yourself also?
The number one thing I try to do is separate work from my own training. My own training's for me, so what I do with myself is going to differ to what I do with my clients, because everybody's an individual. So the plan of attack that got Jess to her Pro Bikini Diva win is different to what got Dan to his professional muscle model win. But the goal is accountability and consistency and tracking and measuring data. So with both of them, I had a very, very close eye on them once a week, and then closer to the show, it was daily. And I think that's the key about any coach, is you should be able to monitor your athletes at a very close window of time, close to the show, so there's as few variables as possible that you need to manipulate. Both of them are really great athletes, so they both train really hard, which makes it very easy for me to continue to do my side of things, because I know there's no problem with them putting the effort in. And communication is really great. They just communicate with me how they're feeling and what they're doing, so we can make sure that they have a plan that not only they can stick to, but bring their best. With that being said, that's why my elite coaching packages on my own website have changed, because I want to give a hands-on approach to that degree to all of my high-level clients that are competing, which means more frequent contact. It means me controlling more variables, me doing more work, but that means a better outcome for the athlete. Not saying that my athletes were ill-managed prior to this, but I've just realized, bringing these 2 champions into the show, how much I really put in the final weeks. And if I can emulate that with some of my other clients, I know that we can just keep bringing champions to the stage, which is what I want. As for myself, I just looked at my progress as if I was looking at a client. So I measured data sets like body fat analysis and pictures and weight, and then use that to determine my next move. So I always was making an unemotional change to my physique. It was great to have someone like Dan, who knows the category really well, to assess me and let me know, hey, you know, you are looking flat, or yep, conditioning's on point. So what I'm seeing in the mirror and in the pictures and on the data is being reflected by someone who has a really good gauge on the class as well. So a good set of second eyes, if you are self-coaching, is very, very important. Having someone there just ensuring that you're doing everything. So that's my recommendations.
So guys, we are really excited to be bringing the WBFF to New Zealand in October 2019.
The way this is going to work is we're bringing in a team of international judges, so although we are going to be the show promoters, there'll be a separate set of judges there to make sure that it's judged fairly, and also judged at a world level, so you're being compared against people who know the world standard of the athletes as well. With us, our aim is to put on a show that is going to give you guys a platform to have a really positive, fun experience at a totally different level than you're ever used to. We really are athlete focused, us being athletes ourselves. So we're super excited to bring that platform to New Zealand and really show you guys what how fun this can be.
This is going to be the biggest show that New Zealand has ever seen on every scale. So we want as many of you to be involved, and to make sure you follow our journey. We'll be providing a lot of educational material for those of you that are unfamiliar with how the WBFF works. You can follow us on the WBFF Instagram page. Our website is under development at the moment, so you can stay tuned with that, where everything will be coming up and you guys will be flooded with information.
We'll be running some coaching workshops with pros from New Zealand and Australia towards the end of this year or early next year, dates to be confirmed. So if you're even just a little bit interested in what it's about, make sure you do come along to those so you can learn what it's about, the different classes. We can also take a look at your physique and what you're hoping to achieve and direct you towards what's the best class to do for you as well.
We cannot wait. We'll see you there.